Every animal has a mother, but not all mothers look after their young. Those that do form one of nature's strongest bonds. A devoted mom will defend her little ones with her life, which is why it's never a good idea to get between a mother and her baby. Their name actually means person of the forest. And like a person, a baby orangutan needs its mom. The largest arboreal mammal in the world lives only in the Southeast Asian islands of Borneo and Sumatra. Males can weigh as much as 110 kilograms. They're the only true arboreal apes, spending as much as 95% of their lives in the trees.
Orangutans are a very intelligent animal. They're one of the great apes, so they're very closely related to us. In that aspect, they have a higher brain function than other species. They use tools to access food, so they do a lot of different things that really show how smart they are.
Like this little guy, a 2.5-year-old Sumatran orangutan named Pongo. Pongo loves to show off and make sure all the other apes know just how clever he is.
Pongo, like most orangutans his age, feels like he has a lot to prove. He has a ton of energy, always climbing around.
But if he should wander beyond his comfort zone, he hurries back to his mom for reassurance. His mom is 19-year-old Blaze. She'll hold him until he feels secure again. Pongo is Blaze's first baby. It wasn't an easy birth. Blaze had suffered complications from other failed pregnancies, so Pongo had to be delivered through cesarean section. But it doesn't matter how he arrived. Now they have lots of mother-son cuddle time. As for Pongo's father, Benny, he couldn't care less. A typical orangutan dad, he has no interest in family life.
Males have pretty much zero to do with raising their offspring. They'll breed with the females, and then they go on their way.
Benny has developed large cheek pads, or flanges, to advertise that he's the primary breeder in this group. As a Sumatran orangutan like his dad, Pongo will grow up to look slightly different from his Bornean cousins.
Borneans tend to have a little bit larger of those cheek pads. Bornean orangutans also are a little bit darker in orange. They have more of an auburn color, whereas Sumatrans have a little bit more of a lighter color to them.
Pongo's always on the move, in one way or another. Sometimes he even uses his feet, but not if he can help it. Like all orangutans, he prefers to let his fingers do the walking.
It's similar to if a kid was using the monkey bars at a gym. They swing underneath the branch or vine that they're using to travel. They'll also climb hand over hand.
He has a natural aptitude for it, but success comes from trial and error, and by watching his mom, Blaze. For Pongo, hanging out with mom is like a training session. Every day she has something new to show him. By far the most important lesson is how to become independent, because orangutans are natural-born loners.
Most primates, including you and I, live as groups, in families, whereas orangutans, for the most part, live by themselves in the wild. They are solitary animals. And the main reason is just food distribution.
Because of their size, orangutans need lots of food, and that means lots and lots of fruit. But in the rainforest, fruit isn't all that plentiful in one place.
So they kind of have to spread out, and that's why they live by themselves. Really, the only time you'll see orangutans living together is when a mother is raising her young.
Blaze has been carefully raising Pongo for the last 2.5 years. But now her little baby boy is getting bigger and more adventurous.
He would be what we call an older infant phasing into a young juvenile right now.
Pongo can pretty much perform all the skills that his mom can. He explores and keeps testing his limits and his mom's patience. He sometimes discovers that he's too big to do what he used to do as a younger ape. That means he tends to get stuck in certain spots, way high up.
Mom is always there for support. Like if he gets stuck up high on a platform where he can't get down, Mom's always there to come down and catch him.
And when that happens, Pongo's not too old that he can't still enjoy an awesome ride on his mom's back.
Being an orangutan mom is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week job. For the first several months, the infant does nothing but hang on to the mother, so it was important that she knew that she needed to let Pongo hang on to her at all times.
Female orangutans can have their first baby at around age 12, and they can only have a baby every 7 or 8 years. Since, on average, they live to 45, it means they can only produce 4 babies in their entire lifetime. That's one of the lowest numbers among all mammals. That's why mom has to take especially good care of the babies. She carries them constantly for their first year. The world is a dangerous place for an orangutan.
Orangutans out in the wild face a lot of threats right now. They have a lot of pressure on them. Habitat loss is the big one. And this is due to the agriculture that's going on over there, specifically palm oil. There are a lot of palm oil plantations that are popping up where orangutans are found.
So, more than ever in the wild, the mother-infant relationship is crucial. Every second spent soaking up mom's wisdom helps increase the chance of survival. Most birds need lots of parental care once they hatch, and the tiny hummingbird is no exception. That's because at roughly 8 centimeters long and weighing as little as 3 grams, it's one of the world's smallest birds. Luckily, hummingbird hatchlings have devoted moms to help them navigate this enormous world. Hummingbirds belong to the order of birds called Apodiformes, which means footless. While they do have feet, they're too weak for walking. But when you can fly like this, who needs to walk? They use their feet like landing gear.
Everybody loves hummingbirds. How can you not love hummingbirds? They're fascinating and they're beautiful, and they pollinate. But one interesting fact is that they really are the only bird that can hover and fly backwards. They're amazing acrobatics in the air.
They need that agility to navigate around the flowers they pollinate. This little guy, barely 3 weeks old, hasn't quite mastered the air yet. But he's working on it.
Baby hummingbirds sit on the edge of their nest and flap their wings up and down, up and down, up and down, until you can start to see them get a little bit of lift, but they don't necessarily let go. But they're getting those wing muscles really amped up for their maiden voyage.
In the wild, that voyage could take the young hummingbird anywhere from the coast of Alaska to the very tip of South America, through some of the most diverse and extreme environments in the world. Which makes this little guy one of the toughest critters in the animal kingdom. That strength starts with learning how to defend its territory. One way is by using its gorget, the flat iridescent feathers around its head that flash bright colors in the sun. Depending on the circumstances, a flash can signal no trespassing, but it can also mean I'm available.
There's a number of different courtship behaviors that hummingbirds have. Many of them sing. They also will position themselves in such a way to flash all that beautiful gorget area and all the color to the female.
When this little guy's old enough to mate, he'll try to impress the females with his fancy J-dive.
Goes up very, very high while the female's perched lower, and right in front of her, right when he gets down to eye level with her, he makes this noise with his tail feathers. It's a very high-pitched squeak, and then goes back up and repeats these dives over and over and over again.
And once the deed is done, the female gets busy building a home for her new family.
Hummingbird nests are really amazing. They're made of anything that you can see around us here. They use all these different plant materials, and they use spider web. That is what holds the whole nest together.
Besides being strong, spider silk is expandable. As the babies grow, the nest will stretch along with them.
You'll start out with a very small, sort of cup-shaped nest, and you'll see mom pushing it out with her rear end and her feet until she makes this nice dip in the center. And then when the youngsters get bigger and bigger, they can push on this as well. So for instance, you may see a nest that's this big. But as the babies grow and just before fledging, it may be that big.
This newborn's nest took a week to build. Every mother designs her nest a little differently before laying her tic-tac size eggs.
Some are what I like to call the Martha Stewart of hummingbird household making, because they will elaborately decorate the sides of their nests.
They adorn their nest with twigs, mosses, lichens, and even paint chips. This hummingbird is an only child, but not for long. Mother hummingbirds generally lay 2 eggs, 1 day apart.
The very, very first thing a chick has to do is get out of the egg. Once that happens, then they need to be nourished by their mother for 21, 23 days.
With absolutely no help from Dad.
When you're a mother hummingbird, you really are all on your own. The dad really does not help in any way, shape, or form, except to inseminate the female.
Mom feeds her chicks roughly every 20 minutes.
It's almost like sword swallowing. And then mom will fly away, goes and gathers more nectar and insects.
The long, slender beak and a super long tongue help the hummingbird collect flower nectar, all while beating her wings 50 times a second. Although the chick is still too young to feed himself, he's working on his tongue exercises in anticipation of that day. From the moment the chick hatches, he's vulnerable.
There's nocturnal predators and there's diurnal predators, anything from something the size of a snake to something the size of a praying mantis.
But Mom is never too far away.
A mother hummingbird's role is protection and food, and then she will also keep the baby chick warm at night.
When this little one was 20 days old, it was finally time to fledge.
It may not go very far from the nest, and it also might go right back into the nest. It all depends on their confidence level.
Until he feels ready to spread his wings for good, Mom will keep feeding for up to 4 weeks. Kids, sometimes it feels like they'll never move out. But once he's out of the nest, there's no going back. Adult hummingbirds lead solitary lives and can usually live to 12 years of age. While he's here, this little guy can still enjoy Mom's sweet home cooking. So many baby animals are born defenseless. But under the tutelage of their doting mothers, they quickly become masters of their universe.
Hey Love Nature fans, be sure to like and subscribe to catch all our wild animal stories. Get closer to nature right here on YouTube.